Make sure to check out my Patreon for exclusive videos never before seen on YouTube. And don't forget to also check out the memberships on my channel page to join and gain access to perks and see videos early. Make sure to click the subscribe button and hit the bell and be notified of new videos. All the support goes to the production of the channel for better content. Now let's get into the video. In the known universe, there was two dominant species that ruled. Both of these species dominated over planets, selling them. One of them was a bit more primal-like, and they were called the Saiyans. The Saiyans were a race of warriors who loved the battle. They worked for Frieza, and they worked to pirate other planets and sell them for the highest bidder. The other part of the universe had the Viltrumites. They were a bit more advanced in technology, and they were more militaristic style. The Viltrumites believed in conquering planets and breeding with other species to basically grow their empire and become more powerful. Frieza saw this as a problem, as the Viltrumites were getting too confident. Frieza offered for them to come join him, but they declined. Now being an enemy of the Frieza Force, the Saiyans and the Viltrumites would battle it out, having a great civil war within the universe. Bardock himself has killed a few Viltrumites, as the Viltrumite leader, Thrag, was very powerful himself. He was almost able to match First Form Frieza in their battle. The Viltrumites were very dangerous, as they can breed very quickly, and they can travel through space, but Saiyans cannot. This war went on for generations, until one day, Bardock found a female Viltrumite, and he battled her. Bardock proved the upper hand, but he knows that she was different. She was an outcast amongst the other Viltrumites. Bardock decides to spare her, as Bardock sees that she's not willing to fight anymore. She would explain her reasoning, and would explain that because the Viltrumites are how they are, she just wants to live in a world of peace. They would get to know each other, and they would then fall in love, respecting each other. And then within a year's time, they would then have a son that Bardock would name Kakarot. This young boy would be the perfect mix between a Viltrumite and a Saiyan, the only one that's ever been done. With the Viltrumites and the Saiyans still battling it out, as that war will not end anytime soon. Bardock knew that his son cannot grow up on either side, as it is too dangerous. Lord Frieza found out about what Bardock has done, as Frieza heard from the Saiyans of what Bardock did when he bred with the Viltrumite, and the Viltrumites heard it too. Bardock knew that he was going to be killed. Same with the wife as well. Bardock would then send his son to planet Earth, and get him far away from all of these people. As then the Viltrumites and Saiyans would then show up, Bardock would battle all of them himself, proving how powerful he actually was, but sadly Frieza would then appear. And Frieza would then kill Bardock personally, as he sees it as a great insult for Bardock taking down much of his forces, alongside the wife as well. Frieza would then kill both of them with a death ball, blowing up the planet that they were on, as he would laugh, saying, "Look at the fireworks." Son Goku would be found by Grandpa Gohan. Now, Son Goku would still be the rabid boy that we all know and love, until he would still hit his head like the original, as he's still an infant. As Son Goku would still grow up with Grandpa Gohan, the same as before, being taught basic things and how to survive. Sadly, Grandpa Gohan would still be killed by Son Goku when he transforms into an Uzaru, as Son Goku's half Saiyan, half Viltrumite. Even half-breeds can still have their tail and they can still transform. So sadly, Grandpa Gohan was killed, leaving Goku alone for years. All until Bulma would then find Goku the same way as before. Now we know that Viltrumites, their DNA does not really show up until they're a bit older, usually when they're about a teenager or so. So Goku is still around the same level of strength and everything else that he is in the original, as Son Goku here has never really used his Viltrumite powers yet. He doesn't even know he has powers like that. He does have the Saiyan powers, of course, since he has that since birth. But it took Mark until he was roughly 17 years old, 17 to 18 years old, until he actually got his Viltrumite powers, which Nolan, his father, said is normal, as it takes some time for half-breeds to kind of grow into their Viltrumite powers. So I'm going to assume that this is the same way for Son Goku. So a lot of the events for Dragon Ball would happen the exact same. Now, once when Goku was on Kami's lookout, after he defeated Demon King Piccolo, this is where a lot of changes are going to happen. Now, of course, that Son Goku would turn 17 within a few years and then turn to 18, but right before the tournament, before he would fight Tien and meet Chi-Chi, Goku would start to have some strange things happening that Kami would very quickly notice. He felt way stronger. Son Goku, ki-wise, felt around the same, but his strength and speed was much, much faster, as he doesn't know why. As Son Goku can now fly, which that was not normal back then. Only some beings could actually fly. He could fly for some reason. His hearing was better, his sight was better, everything was stronger. And he doesn't know why, and can't figure it out. Also, during his training with Kami, whenever he would get attacked by Kami, it would barely even damage him. And the small damage that he would receive, he would regenerate way faster than he originally would, as some injuries might take him a week to recover, but this only took him about a day or two and he's fully recovered. Kami wonders if this is maybe because you're finally using your real power, maybe because you've reached adulthood, which Goku would agree, as Goku still thinks that he's a human, but Kami thinks otherwise. He thinks that he's definitely not normal. As, do you think that Kami knew that Son Goku landed on Earth from the space pod, as Kami's the god of Earth? Let me know in the comments down below if you think that Kami secretly knew. I don't think he probably did, but never know. As for Son Goku here, during the tournament, Son Goku would also know the fact that he can also fly. He would even try going out into space, and guess what? He can breathe in, well, he can hold his breath in space. And he stayed up there for a little while, and he could fly around, and he wasn't worried about it. As Son Goku doesn't know that you can hold your breath for up to 2 weeks in space per Viltrumite, as Viltrumites are actually extremely fast in terms of flight. So, Goku was able to travel to the moon, he's able to travel around the solar system, and he was perfectly fine. Now, during the tournament, Goku would win a lot faster. As Son Goku was already pretty much the strongest being there, Piccolo is the only one who could rival him. Son Goku here being physically way more powerful than his original self. As we even saw beings like, of course, Nolan, who is a little bit older, but Mark was 19 years old to 18 years old. He was able to match his father in strength. Nolan's able to pick up things like submarines and pick up things that are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of tons, even while Goku from the Buu saga couldn't even hold up 40 tons. So in terms of physical lifting strength, Son Goku is a lot more powerful. And I believe in terms of fighting power, Son Goku's stronger as well, because the lifting strength is a bit similar to the hitting strength. Son Goku would dominate Piccolo in their fight, being able to fly, being a lot faster, and if Piccolo also fires his mouth beam, you guys have to understand that when Goku drops his guard, it doesn't still hurt him as bad. As we know in Dragon Ball Z lore, when someone drops their guard and their ki drops, of course, a simple shotgun blast or a simple bullet can kill them and hurt them. But not for Son Goku, because Viltrumites, they can't lower their power like that. They're just naturally that strong. So the beam would still hit Goku and it would still hurt him, but it would not go completely through his arm and it would not cripple his arm. So even if Son Goku dropped his guard against Piccolo and Piccolo still did a sneak attack on him, it wouldn't work, as Son Goku might just have a burn mark there. Son Goku would have easily defeated Piccolo, and due to the Viltrumites, their military mindset, doesn't really matter because Mark is obviously different as well. Being a half-breed and being a hybrid, Mark sees differently. Son Goku sees the same, as Son Goku would spare Piccolo, as he knows that if Piccolo dies, Kami would then die as well. As he would then still meet with Chi-Chi the same as before, as they still became best friends during the Dragon Ball saga, and he did still promise to marry her one day, but he didn't know what it was. She would be happy, and then the two would finally get married, and then 5 years would then pass, as Son Goku here has grown much stronger. You guys have to understand that Son Goku would have a similar potential, or way higher potential than even Mark, as Mark, by the age of 19 years old, he was able to match Nolan and others in such a short few years because of his potential. And also being the perfect hybrid, which I feel like Son Goku is. Son Goku would still continue to train for the 5 years, but he was kind of taking it easy as it was peaceful. Gohan would still be born, and Gohan would be a pretty odd mixture, having 3 different races within him, being part Viltrumite, part Saiyan, and part human as well. So Gohan will be a powerhouse, but we'll get to that shortly. Now the Viltrumite will most likely overcome the human DNA because humans and Viltrumites are so similar in terms of their DNA structure that it will kind of take it over. So we're going to argue that that's the case until Gohan's roughly a young man, until he's about 18 to 20 years old, similar to Goku. Raditz would still appear, searching for his brother, which Raditz knows about the fact that Frieza killed their father because of that. He knows about it, as the Saiyan Empire is actually still alive. Frieza never destroyed it, as he needs the Saiyans to fight these Viltrumites for him, as these Viltrumites are still going to war with the Saiyan Empire. So Raditz will recruit his brother, as he thinks that maybe this will be a perfect thing to kind of team up with him and Vegeta, and Raditz can just say that, oh, this is just my hidden brother, don't know about him. So because of this, Raditz would then see that Kakarot has not done his job. The planet is still thriving, it's still living, what's going on? He would still meet Goku on Kame's house, and he would try to take Son Gohan, but this is where something's going to change. As by this point, with the beings like Goku here is a lot more powerful than his original self, as we know that Goku had a power level of around 416 when he fought Raditz. But we know that since Goku's part Viltrumite here, with the potential of both of those species pushing his power even more, Son Goku would have a power level of around 1500, so he's pretty much equal to his brother Raditz. The two would begin fighting on the islands, as Raditz was shocked by how powerful his brother was, as they were evenly matched. But Son Goku has more abilities than sadly Raditz does. As Son Goku would then charge up a Kamehameha, Raditz would then charge up a double Sunday, but Goku's Kamehameha wave is more powerful than this blast. Son Goku would then fire it using all of his strength, and it would hit Raditz full force and go right through his stomach, killing Raditz. As Raditz would then collapse onto the ground, Goku would then talk about, look, maybe we can wish you back with the Dragon Balls if you want. And Raditz would not know what that is, and Krillin would be like, what are you, crazy? Why would we wish him back? As Goku states, well, he's not that bad, he's just, a bit misguided. As that's normal with Goku. Goku wasn't expecting the Kamehameha wave to go through Raditz's stomach, he wasn't expecting that, but he had to do what he had to do to protect his friends. He would then tell Raditz that the Dragon Balls are these magical orbs that can grant any wish. Now this would perk Vegeta's interest. Vegeta and Nappa would then beeline it right towards Earth, as Vegeta can wish for immortality and rule over both empires. Frieza also heard of this as well, so now he's heading to planet Namek. And guess funny enough, the Viltrumites have intercoms that can listen in to the scouters as well, and they've been listening to hacks and communications. As remember, this is a war. They were able to pick up about wishing orbs, and that is where Frieza is heading. So they will decide to send a few of their Viltrumites undercover as they go undercover as Frieza's forces, as it's pretty easy to blend in with them. As they have some mixed breeds as well to go undercover to planet Namek to recover these wishing orbs, because that means that Thrag, he can wish for immortality, or he can wish to become stronger, and to make the Viltrumite Empire thrive. After the defeat of Raditz, Vegeta and Nappa would still arrive on time on Earth a year later. Son Goku would have had time to prepare for the Saiyans, as he's been training harder than ever, pushing both his Saiyan and Viltrumite biology faster than ever. Nappa would then step up first, as he would have still destroyed the city the same as the original. Son Goku this time never died, so Goku never went to go train with King Kai, meaning that Goku would have never gotten late. The Z-Fighters would have still shown up like the original, and with Vegeta beginning his fight with Son Goku, Nappa would have his fun fighting the other Z-Fighters. Piccolo is a bit more powerful than his original self, even Gohan's a bit more stronger, but I do not believe that it is enough to defeat Nappa unless they all team up on him, which would actually be a pretty equal fight. Goku was off fighting Vegeta on his own. As he was occupied battling Vegeta, they were trading blows back and forth as Vegeta was shocked at how powerful Son Goku was. Goku's durability and more is heightened because of his Viltrumite power, making him nigh invulnerable. Son Goku was able to keep up with Vegeta, being able to fly. As we remember, he was able to fly naturally since he was very young. Goku would easily outclass Vegeta in terms of total raw speed, but Vegeta had enough power to even keep up with Goku, which would shock Goku with how fast and powerful Vegeta actually was. To think that there was other beings as powerful as him, this would shock him. Back on the fight, Nappa would get the upper hand on the Z Fighters as they were running out of energy quickly. Nappa would then look at Gohan, who fired an energy blast at him. He would then fire a massive mouth beam. Piccolo would still jump in the way like the original, giving his life for Gohan, saving him. So now that Gohan has been saved, Piccolo would sadly die of his wounds. Goku would have noticed this, and seeing that Piccolo's energy was gone, his anger would rise. Viltrumites are battle hungry, similar to Saiyans. Their rage can increase their power, as we saw that this happened with Mark, as when Mark fought a powerful Viltrumite general, he got so furious when Eve was hurt that he overpowered him. The same thing would happen with Son Goku, as with rage, his power level increases. Goku would have knocked Vegeta away, and he would have flown full speed at Nappa, who was about to kill his son. Goku would have actually flown through Nappa, leaving blood and guts everywhere, killing Nappa in invincible fashion. Nappa was dead. Vegeta was shocked to see that Nappa was killed, and he, anger was fuming. Vegeta would then fly towards Son Goku, and the two would continue their battle. Vegeta was getting beaten down more because of the fact that Goku's rage boost was increasing his power level, and Goku's power was continuing to rise. You guys also have to remember too, that Goku here is only going to grow more powerful as the fight ensues. As Mark has grown more powerful as the fight happens, Viltrumites have this ability to grow during battle. Their adaptability is absolutely busted. On top of the fact that he's a Saiyan who can learn very quickly is scary. Vegeta would be running out of options. Vegeta would then have flown nearly in outer space and charged up a full-power Gallic gun to destroy the entire planet. Goku would have charged up a Kamehameha and fired it right back as they would have their legendary beam clash. This time around, Goku never almost killed himself with Kaioken, as he went to Kaioken ×4 like the original and almost destroyed his body. Goku was strong enough to use his anger to give another push to the Kamehameha wave, and it would overpower, hitting Vegeta full force, sending Vegeta into the upper atmosphere. Goku knows that Vegeta was still alive, but first he had to stop and go see if Gohan was okay, as Gohan was crying over Piccolo's dead body. This means that Kami will die as well, as Piccolo cannot live without Kami, and as Kami cannot live without Piccolo. Vegeta was almost in space as he was furious. He does have one more option that he could try and do. He would then charge up a fake moon and throw it into the air, becoming an Uzaru. He would then land and continue his assault on Goku. With Vegeta being exponentially more powerful, Goku had one thing up to his advantage. Goku was barely even tired. He wasn't even tired at all. And he was actually almost healed. As we know, Viltrumites have incredibly busted healing on top of this. The fact that they can heal almost deadly wounds in a very short span of time. With Goku having some minor cuts, that would have already healed after a few minutes. With this factor, and on top of the almost limitless stamina, Goku was able to fly around and easily dodge Vegeta's attacks, as Goku was smaller, which made him very hard to hit. Though Vegeta was large and incredibly fast for an Uzaru, Goku was at full strength and full speed, so he was able to easily dodge his attacks. Sadly, Vegeta does not have a chance. Goku's powerful punches would have still knocked Vegeta around, but it wouldn't actually damage Vegeta too much because he got 10 times stronger than Goku. With this being said, Goku would have a plan, as Krillin would then charge up a Kienzan and throw it at Vegeta's tail while Goku was distracting him, and it would cut his tail off. This would make Vegeta revert back to his base form, as now he was more furious than ever. He would continue his assault on Goku, but Goku would then hit him away, defeating Vegeta. Vegeta by this point would then be crawling towards his space pod, as he has no more energy left to continue fighting. Krillin was about to kill Vegeta until Goku would surprisingly let him go, stating that he wants to fight him fully on his own. Which, that does not make a lot of sense to you guys, doesn't it? But Goku was not able to fight Vegeta at his full power. Remember, Vegeta and Uzaru would have over time defeated Goku because Vegeta was too powerful. Goku would have been able to do anything. He needed Krillin's help to remove his tail. That's the reason why Goku let Vegeta go, because he wants to fight Vegeta again, this time without any help. They would then be confused as what are they going to do now. As Vegeta would have flown off, he would have headed to one of the spaceships and then headed right to planet Vegeta. But now they don't know what to do. As now that Piccolo's gone, the Dragon Balls are gone as well. As Vegeta would have left, going to planet Namek, as he would have been healed the same as before, Vegeta knows about the wishing orbs on planet Namek, and his job is to wish for immortality. Now, of course, that being said, they would have still made the same assumption about Mr. Popo helping them out and helping Bulma out. Thus, in turn, they would still make the spaceship to leave within a week's time. Goku was not gravely injured in this what if, so Goku was able to go with Bulma, Gohan, and Krillin. Soon they would all arrive on Namek, roughly a few days to but a week later. Vegeta would have already killed Kui at this point, as Vegeta got a massive Zenkai. You have to remember that Vegeta is fighting a stronger opponent. When a Saiyan is up against a very powerful being, their Zenkais will rise and their adaptability and potential will rise considering the threat, which is why Saiyans are so terrifying. Viltrumites are very similar in this, as Mark was able to get these incredible power boosts with his insane potential. He was able to overcome even those powerful Viltrumites within a very short span of time. Now, as Frieza was on this planet, the Rag was also on the planet as well, as he sent hundreds of Viltrumites out to go search the Dragon Balls as well, as Vegeta was having his own search. It was between Saiyans, the Frieza Force, and Viltrumites. It was a massive goose chase to find all 7 Dragon Balls as they were stealing back from each other and no one was making headway. Until Frieza was able to collect 5 to 6 of the Dragon Balls, all until Vegeta would then steal them back and bury them in the ocean far away. The Rag would soon send out his Viltrumites, as Vegeta here would have actually battled more Viltrumites on his own, and he would actually kill some. As we know that Viltrumites are around planetary level, meaning that it can vary between the factor of 10,000 to even some of them having power levels of 1,500 or more, like how Raditz has, as these beings are able to destroy the planet. As even beings like Master Roshi can destroy the moon, and Goku from the Raditz saga in his original self is multiple times stronger than that. Goku by himself is able to destroy 67% of the Earth, stated by Piccolo, who was able to use a simple ki blast and destroy the moon within a few seconds. Carrying on, the Viltrumites have power levels ranging from 500s to the more elite ones being over 5 to 10,000, as Thrag is about as powerful as Frieza. Now, Thrag is not as powerful as Frieza. He's a bit stronger than Captain Ginyu at this point. Thrag's goal is to use the Dragon Balls to wish for immortality. Now, we already know that the Viltrumites do have a long lifespan, but Thrag knows about the Viltrumite's power to continue to grow stronger. If he uses immortality, he knows that he can never be hurt or never be killed. That means that he can continue fighting Frieza until he kills him and he continues growing stronger. His second option that he has in his head that he's contemplating as well, and they're very close, is wishing for power. Thrag is going to want to wish for more power than Frieza so he can overpower the Emperor. This means that Viltrumite are the most powerful species in the universe, and the Viltrumite Empire is the most powerful empire that the universe has ever seen. With the Z Fighters landing, some of the events would have gone the same, with Dende being saved. Gohan, Krillin, and Goku would have gone to meet Elder Guru. Elder Guru would have unlocked their potential, as he also would have unlocked Goku's potential as well. Goku wouldn't necessarily like it, but remember, he's not a full Saiyan, he's a little bit different. Goku still has the same ideology to where he doesn't want to be given power, but under certain circumstances, Elder Guru would then tell him, no, I'm just unlocking power that you already have, you're just not using it, to help Goku unlock his potential. As the base is around 2 times when they first get it, and the power continuously grows as the fight goes on, Goku's power level is steadily rising. With Frieza having all these enforcements, the Viltrumites, Vegeta, he would then call the Ginyu Force. The Ginyu Force would then arrive the same as before and battle Vegeta. This time Goku would be there, and with him and Vegeta teaming up, they would take down the Ginyu Force and actually defeat Captain Ginyu before he could use Body Change. This would also mean that Son Goku would then meet Thrag. Thrag would recognize Son Goku, as he recognizes him from the Saiyan that fought against Frieza. As we don't know that Thrag knows that Goku's a half Viltrumite. How would they know about that? But he would know about Bardock, who stood up to Frieza. Everyone knows about this. Thrag would begin his fight with Son Goku, and Thrag was more powerful than Goku, overpowering him in their fight. Vegeta would try to help, but he's on his own agenda, as he would leave Goku. Goku would be pummeled by Thrag, being easily overpowered by Thrag. Thrag is too powerful, and he's way too experienced by this point. As Thrag is thousands of years old, he's bred to be the most perfect Viltrumite. He has the most extensive training and experience. Goku was getting pummeled by Thrag. The only thing that was keeping Goku alive was his natural martial arts abilities, that he knew that Thrag fights like an amateur compared to a martial artist. As, remember, a lot of Viltrumites are brawlers. They do know forms of martial arts, of course, but not like Goku, who knows almost every martial art there is. With this being said, Goku was badly beaten, almost to death. Krillin would then come to their rescue and shout Solar Flare and blind Thrag, taking Goku away. With Goku being taken away now, Goku would then be taken to Dende, who would actually heal Goku, which would take some time. This would grant Goku a massive Zenkai, very similar to when he was beaten down by Vegeta, who had the Ginyu's body. But this time it was a lot quicker than the healing tank. Frieza by this point would have collected all the 7 Dragon Balls and tried to summon them, but it did not work, as he doesn't know, maybe they have some special code or something. Also by this point, Frieza would have then flown off to go find Elder Guru, the same as before. Vegeta, by this point, has already gotten to the Dragon Balls, but he doesn't know how to summon them. So once when the Z Fighters would arrive with the Dragon Balls, Thrag was still running around trying to find Goku, but they slipped away. As you guys remember, Thrag cannot sense power levels. Goku can sense his. With this being said, they would then arrive at the dragon and then summon him the same as before. They would bring Piccolo back to life. And then their second wish would actually bring Piccolo there, because maybe Piccolo can help them. This would also bring the Earth Dragon Balls back as well, and Kami, but sadly, Frieza arrived. And the Dragon Balls have turned to stone, sadly that Elder Guru has passed away. Vegeta would be the first one to go up, surprisingly, as he would actually start his fight with Frieza. He would overpower and be able to keep up with first form Frieza, causing Frieza to go into his second form, which before Goku could even fight him, and of course Frieza would then kind of shove everybody around, Piccolo would then arrive after fusing with Nail and battle with Frieza. Once when Frieza had gone into his third form and into his fourth form, he would then begin his fight with Goku. Goku would very quickly start to overpower Frieza. That's a joke. Frieza would overpower Goku with ease, as Frieza was holding back. As Frieza was only using a 5% or less of his power, Goku had no chance. Goku was comparable to roughly second form Frieza, third form Frieza, but not fourth form. Goku was beaten, and then Frieza would then punch a hole through Goku's stomach, leaving him on the floor, badly injured. Now by this point, guess who would have shown up? It's Thrag. Thrag by this point does not really have a chance against Goku, and Thrag would have been beaten by Vegeta, surprisingly, who just got brought back by Dende, as Vegeta got a big Zenkai. He would fight Frieza for a short while, but then he would be defeated. Now, by this point, of course, the Dragon Balls are still gone, so Thrag, by this point, would be getting furious. You see, as Thrag, by this point, has been holding back more of his power, with the current fight that's going on, he would start fighting Final Form Frieza. Frieza would easily overpower Thrag in their match and start to defeat him, almost ripping limbs off, apparently. But Thrag would survive. And how would Thrag survive this is because Dende would actually revive him, as Goku would tell them to revive this Thrag guy because he's trying to help fight Frieza. Thrag is not dumb, as Thrag's people, surprisingly, have not attacked the Namekians. They've only attacked Frieza's men, as they're trying to deal with that. They're trying to find the Frieza's men who has the Dragon Balls, or so Thrag thought. So Dende does not have any pure disdain towards Thrag like he does Vegeta or Frieza. With this being said, Thrag would continue coming back stronger and stronger, being able to keep up with Goku even. After, of course, both of them fighting Frieza, they would still lose, not having a chance. As Goku was almost killed by Frieza, Goku would then snap. Something would happen within him, as Son Goku would then transform into a false Super Saiyan. His hair was standing up, it was brownish, his eyes were gone and the golden aura was surrounding him. Thrag has never seen this before, same with Vegeta. Goku would easily overpower Frieza and charge up a full power Kamehameha wave, hitting Frieza full force, almost killing the Emperor. Goku would then power down as he was absolutely exhausted. Piccolo has an idea, as they can sense that Frieza's still alive. Piccolo, Gohan, and Krillin would then give Goku all of their energy so Goku can get back up to full strength and become even stronger than before. Sadly though, because of this, Frieza would still come back, but he was really injured, but still strong enough to give them a decent fight. It was Thrag and Goku, as they were both teaming up on Frieza, overpowering Frieza surprisingly. So Frieza would then kick Thrag away and kick Goku away. Goku has an idea, as then Goku would then charge up a solar flare, as it would blind Frieza, and just when they thought they could catch Frieza, he would fire a death beam, shooting through Goku's shoulder, launching him down. Thrag would then be shot with multiple death beams, which would launch him to the floor. Frieza was cackling and laughing. As he aimed his finger over them, Frieza was ready to kill the two species. Until a Kienzan would slice Frieza right in half, and none other was it Krillin. Krillin killed Frieza when he dropped his guard, and he used the Death Saucer, which again, people don't realize that this is the same Kienzan that Frieza used as a Death Saucer, and it does the same effect. Frieza would fall on the floor being defeated. As then Goku would then stand up, he would then offer Frieza to get out of here until Thrag would then stomp on Frieza's head, destroying it. Then Thrag would then state what he really wanted to do, and the fact that their fight has just begun. He would then begin his fight with Son Goku, as the fight would be brutal, with both of them being completely exhausted. Remember, they're both gravely injured as well. Goku would prove to have more willpower, and he would use his techniques to defeat Thrag. As then Goku would be being choked out by Thrag, he would then fire a ki beam right through Thrag's mouth, which would then blow his head off, killing Thrag. Goku was absolutely exhausted, using up all of his ki and energy. His friends would then help him up, as then now, they would then take Goku into the healing chamber to heal. As we know before, Dende is exhausted after healing multiple people. He would be able to heal Piccolo and them, but not Goku as he's too tired, and even Vegeta. But after a little rest, Dende was able to heal the rest up with Goku after the healing tank, so Goku was okay. Everybody would then leave back in Bulma's spaceship, but before they do, they're going to go back to Earth and use the Dragon Balls to wish everybody on Namek that was killed by Frieza, bringing Namek back to what it was. Vegeta would oddly follow along in his own space pod, as he would keep his distance, but he has nowhere else to go, as he would then stay on Earth for now, but he still has a bone to pick with the Viltrumite Empire. With Thrag being dead, the Viltrumite Empire was now confused, as they don't know what to do. Thrag was their most powerful general. Who could have killed Thrag? The Viltrumite Empire would have learned that it was Kakarot, or Son Goku, a Saiyan/hybrid of Earth, who defeated Thrag and Lord Frieza in battle. They would then announce that Goku is now the new king of the Viltrumites. After the defeat of the mighty Frieza, life would go back to normal for Son Goku, as he would have been back on Earth, as remember, Son Goku here was never stuck on Namek, nor was Namek truly destroyed. So because of this, Goku would have never gone to Planet Yardrat and learned instant transmission. Because of this, Goku would have been back on Earth and life would have been peaceful once again. Goku wonders what that power was that he had within him, as he never felt something like that before. We all know that it was the false Super Saiyan. Goku had a touch of that Super Saiyan power, but this is because Goku's limits were being pushed, not because of pure anger yet. So Goku was not able to fully unlock the form. But Goku knows that there is something there, as he'll try his best to try and figure out a way to unlock this power. Life would be peaceful for over a year, as in this timeline Trunks would appear like the original. During this time, Trunks would still meet up with Goku and explain the androids in Cell, as Goku never destroyed Dr. Gero, so Dr. Gero would still make the androids as per before. And Cell was still born the same way. Cell by this point was on Earth, as he used a time machine from a different timeline to jump over there, but Cell of course is a larvae, so he's not a full being yet, but that's in a few more years. After Goku was brought about it, this time around though, Goku in the original timeline died of the heart virus, but Trunks does not know that Goku's half Viltrumite. So Trunks doesn't know that Goku's not gonna die because of the heart virus, but he'll give him the medicine anyway, and tells him that if he has any symptoms at all, to use it as soon as possible. So, for the next 3 years, they would begin training. But now near the end of the 3 years, what would appear then is then a bunch of Viltrumites would then appear, landing from a ship. Now Goku thinks that this is an invasion or something, but he doesn't really know what they are. As remember, the only other Viltrumite that Goku really saw was Thrag, but he didn't know that Thrag was a Viltrumite. He doesn't even know what Viltrumites are. He just thought that maybe it was just another human or another alien that looks like a human. He maybe thinks it was maybe another Saiyan or something. He doesn't know. The Viltrumites would then come out, and then they would bow to Son Goku, which Goku was surprised why they would do that, as they would then explain to what happened and that he defeated and killed Thrag, who was their ruler of the Viltrumite Empire. Goku was rather confused by this, and Vegeta would have been there by that point, and he would be absolutely furious that Son Goku, number one, he's definitely a Saiyan, Vegeta can tell, but he must be a half-breed, which only makes him a bit more disrespectful towards Goku, but it also makes him more mad that Goku's a ruler of something and he's not. Well, the fact is, Vegeta's pride is still shot, because Goku became a Super Saiyan, while Vegeta has not. So Vegeta by this point would have left to another planet to go train, like before, to try and become a Super Saiyan, just like Goku did. After some explanation, as Goku's not the sharpest tool in the shed, but I do feel like Goku does have a higher natural intelligence because of the fact that he is a Viltrumite. He's not just a silly Saiyan. Goku would be able to figure it out pretty quickly, and with the help of Bulma as well, who works with the Viltrumites, as Bulma loves their technology, they would then follow any orders that Goku has, as they would instantly ask him, well, what planet do you want to take over? Goku would stop them there and state that, well, we don't want to take over planets, that's not the right thing. Goku has an idea. Goku would state, why don't we fight for peace in the universe and not for conquering, as that just brings chaos. The Viltrumites, by this point, would then state about planet Vegeta. And they would then talk about the Saiyans with the planet Vegeta, and everything like that would still be the same how it was destroyed. Vegeta knew about this as well, but he never really said it, as he didn't die to Frieza's hand. Well, because of this, Frieza sadly destroyed planet Vegeta, so that did kind of bum Goku out a little bit. He wished he could have saw more of his people, but he's happy on Earth where he is. The Viltrumites then would all live on Earth, surprisingly, as there was a few thousand Viltrumites. They would all live on Earth, ready to serve whatever Goku's wishes are. And they did agree, the Viltrumite Empire has been flourishing since Frieza is gone, and there's no Saiyans either. So because of this, this also means that, of course, the Viltrumite Empire will now continue to grow. They will now grow for peace. This means that the Viltrumites would actually work with the Galactic Patrol. And Goku would actually meet the king of the Galactic Patrol, and he was an odd fellow, really like a bunch of tendrils and stuff, but Goku would get along well with him, and Goku would say that, well, they seem to listen to me very well, and if they don't, just arrest them, or I can fight them if you want. Goku would be able to travel across the universe. As you guys remember, Viltrumites can hold their breath for up to 2 weeks, and their space travel is really busted with how fast they can fly. Goku can fly from there to Namek probably within a day or two, considering how fast he is. Now the 3 years would fully pass, as now, of course, Goku would actually be training Viltrumites, as these Viltrumites, who are the highest ranking people, would want to learn under Son Goku, and Goku was fine with that. So there was 100 to 200 Viltrumites that Son Goku was training, alongside with Gohan and Piccolo, who are training with him for the next 3 years. as Piccolo sees this as a great opportunity for them to get powerful fighters to be able to help fight the androids if needed, which Goku would agree. So he would start from the basics, and he would actually even have some of them go to Master Roshi. Though Master Roshi would try to get a little bit weird with the female Viltrumites, that would very quickly change, as they would probably beat him up and almost kill him, but we all know it's comical. Master Roshi would then help Son Goku on teaching them ki, energy. As Viltrumites were very quick learners, they would start to figure out how to use their power within them. And they're only learning more martial arts and getting way stronger. Remember, because of this, Bulma's father would then introduce the gravity training. Now, we know that he originally thought about it because Goku went to the, of course, King Kai's world, but for plot reasons, let's just say he found out that gravity training can help out. So Son Goku was training under gravity for the first time, and other Viltrumites would then train alongside of him. But now, of course, the 3 years would then fully pass, as the Viltrumites here are much more powerful. As we know, the average Viltrumite, as it took 3 of them to destroy a planet, so realistically, in Dragon Ball terms, maybe a couple thousand, because they're not using ki, they're just using strength. But let's just say that an average Viltrumite was able to compete with a Saiyan, the high-ranking Saiyan, so let's just say that they had a power level between 1,000 to 10,000, let's just say that for fun. Thrag was a bit more powerful than Captain Ginyu, so he was the most powerful one, but of course he was fighting Frieza mainly, and the Ginyu Force. Well, because of this, I feel like the Viltrumites, with training with Goku for 3 years, their adaptability, plus gravity training and learning how to use ki and stuff and martial arts, they would go from 1,000 to 10,000 to, I would say, probably 50,000 to 100,000, which is not that crazy if you think about it. That's 3 years of training with Son Goku under gravity and martial arts. So the Viltrumites have gotten a lot more powerful, and when they're all teamed up, they're pretty strong. And they know how to use ki blast and ki moves that they made themselves. And Goku would, after teaching them the basics and how they can learn more, he would then state to never stop thirsting for knowledge and to continue learning. Goku here has gotten much more stronger since then, as his base form already is far stronger than what his original self was. So after 3 years would pass, Dr. Gero and Android 19 would then appear the same as before. But now in this timeline here, when Goku fights Android 19, you guys have to remember too, that the androids are not as scary powerful. Now, what do you mean by that? Well, it's because the fact that Goku never had full Super Saiyan before, which they took the power from that, and it's the fact that Goku's full power was not as powerful as his original self, because they took it from Trunks and Goku as Super Saiyans, they took it from Frieza, who came to Earth. Well, Frieza never came to Earth, plus King Cold, so Cell would not have, Frieza's power, same with the androids. So they are a little bit weaker, but not by a massive margin. Goku would be able to fight Android 19 and quickly overpower him. In this what if, he never gets the heart virus because of his Viltrumite DNA, and healing factor would save his life. So he never needed the medicine. So he would kill and defeat Android 19. And Dr. Gero would of course escape, as they can't sense his energy. But now very quickly, he would be able to activate Android 18 and 17 the same as before. Now, with this being said, Vegeta would still appear, and he would be very confident, as Vegeta was a Super Saiyan. He would then attack Android 18, which credited Android 18 and 17 are a little bit weaker. Android 18 versus Vegeta would be a bit more evenly matched, of course sort of like with Piccolo fighting Android 17. Now, Android 17 would then jump in and double team Vegeta, which by that point Goku would then jump in as well, but Goku would start to lose against Android 17 because of the fact that he's not as strong as current Super Saiyan Vegeta. Now, after their defeat, Krillin would then save everybody by using the Solar Flare to get Goku away, because their main goal is to kill Son Goku. Now, the Viltrumites, by this point, as they're in the hundreds, and they've already bred across the entire planet Earth, as you guys have to remember, there's hundreds of thousands of them, they would then all swarm the androids and hold them off until Goku's able to get away. A few of them will die because of this, but they must protect their king. Once when getting away, Vegeta's pride was shot. He didn't break both arms this time, so that's a good thing, but Vegeta here's pride was shot, as he wasn't even able to fight one of them fully. But he feels like if he could maybe beat one of them. Piccolo by this point would have met imperfect Cell, and he would have had a little scuffle with him, but he would have gone over to Kami's anyway, and fused with Kami, becoming much more powerful. Piccolo by this point is far stronger than Android 17, so when he goes to battle Android 17, he would actually win. And he would actually completely destroy Android 17 before Cell could arrive, as Piccolo's not playing around. Piccolo wants to kill him as soon as possible, and that's exactly what he did. Though Android 18 was furious, she would try and attack Piccolo, who was tired by this point. Cell would then appear. Cell would then attack Piccolo and almost kill him. But now this time around, Goku by this point would appear and attack Cell. But Cell was far too strong for Goku, as Goku doesn't even have Super Saiyan just yet. Cell would easily punch a hole right through Goku's stomach, leaving his guts out everywhere, and Invincible style, Goku was laid there, defeated. As Cell thinks that he died because he can't sense his ki anymore, Cell would then go to absorb Android 18, but Android 16 would then fight off Cell alongside Tien, who would use the Tri-Beam to hold down Cell. Android 18 would escape. Because of this, Goku would be given a Senzu Bean, same with Piccolo, and Goku feels a lot more powerful. Now, Goku doesn't really have any other option, as he doesn't know what else to do but to go in the Room of Spirit and Time, at least for an hour or two, so he can at least get a few months of training in. As they would have then agree, Vegeta would actually go in with Goku. Surprisingly, I'm just kidding, he wouldn't. Vegeta would then leave the Hyperbolic Time Chamber, as he trained there before. Now, Vegeta would go to fight Cell the same as the original, and he would turn into his more Ultra Super Saiyan form, and he would easily outclass Cell. As Vegeta here is stronger, Cell's a little bit weaker. And at this point, Android 18 would have been gone. How? Because the Viltrumite got with her and helped her escape, per Goku's request. So she's long gone by this point, and Cell can't find her. Well, even if Vegeta offered him to absorb Android 18, she's not around. And I feel like after Trunks kind of boasting and they can't find her, Vegeta would then start to beat down on Cell. Vegeta would then charge up his final flash, and he would then hit Cell full force, killing him. Vegeta by this point is bloodlusted, as he's so power hungry. He believes that he should be the next king. He'll rule over Viltrumites. Heck, he'll at least rule over something. He'll be the next ruler of the universe. Son Goku by this point has been in the Hyperbolic Time Chamber by himself for a few hours. Now this correlates to a few months. Son Goku by this point has now gotten out of the time chamber, and he's ready to fight Vegeta, who's actually planning on ruling over the Earth, and he's been attacking the Viltrumites. Goku would then meet up with Vegeta, and the two would have their legendary fight. But Goku in base form was able to keep up a little bit with the Super Saiyan Vegeta. Goku would then transform into a Super Saiyan, which would shock Vegeta, but Goku states a few months in the Hyperbolic Time Chamber he figured it out, as it's anger that courses through it. But Goku also learned to find a way to push it even further, so Goku's starting to learn to master the Super Saiyan form, so it's not blocking with your anger. Vegeta would go into his Ultra Super Saiyan form, and the two would begin their fight. It would be a very intense battle. Seemingly no one else was winning. But with Goku's Viltrumite abilities, he overpowered Vegeta and defeated them, as Vegeta wanted their one last fight to prove who is the most powerful, who is number one. And sadly, Vegeta lost. Son Goku has won, and he has kept his ruler crown of the greatest in the universe. Now Son Goku was Cell defeated. Android 18 and Android 16 would go into hiding for a little while, but Krillin, I feel like, would still wish for the Viltrumites to be brought back, and he would also wish for the bombs to be taken off. So Krillin still scored Android 18, which is a W for him. But now there would be peace for over 7 years. Goku never dies in this What If, so because of this, he would never go to the other world. And that is it for this What If, you guys. Thank y'all for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what you guys think. Let's get 20,000 subscribers, and I'll talk to you all later.